She looked amazing, but she's a bitch. But she looks amazing. I guess you can't have both. You can't be nice and pretty in the same scene. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of Millennial TV's recap of the Laguna Beach prom. We are your hosts, Candace, Adrian, and Liz, and we are so happy to be here for another episode of Millennial TV. We have been cooking up something super special for you. Coming up soon, we will interview a friend of ours who is a Laguna Beach High School alumni. In addition, we hope that you will join us for a super special spooky episode of Millennial TV. Listen in on Halloween to hear a ghost story super close to us and maybe hear your own read live on air. Send us your real life ghost stories so we can share them on the podcast. And now for our pop culture of the week. So Taylor Swift this week has had a very big week. Not only is she officially in the public eye dating Mr. Travis Kelce himself of the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope I said that right. I know nothing about football. But she released her concert film, Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, in theaters worldwide. It made $92.8 million during its debut weekend, making it the second highest domestic opening in October. They predicted it making $95 million to $97 million, so really she dropped a little bit below that. They were calling for like 100 million plus opening. Like they really thought this was going to be a lot bigger than it was. But I mean, I feel like it still is all anybody's talking about. Even at my work, I'm like the resident Swiftie and everyone knows it. So they're always like, oh, all we hear about is Taylor and Travis Kelce, like the Eras Tour, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I literally said today, it's Taylor's world and we're all just living in it.
Oh my God.
Because that's truly what it feels like.
It does.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to the Eras Tour in person in Pittsburgh. And I also went to the show this weekend on Friday, opening night. We ended up going to like the 10 p.m. showing. And when I tell you these Swifties are coming out in droves, they are coming out in droves. I live in a small town and everyone was dressed up. I was like shocked.
That is cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
Yeah.
fun.
I was wearing a Taylor Swift hoodie because I was like, it's the movies. I'm going to be chill. And people were fully decked, like sparkles, pearls, like it was the nines. And everyone was trading friendship bracelets, which is something they did at the actual tour, but I wasn't expecting at the movie. So that was cute. They were completely sold out of, there's like Taylor Swift Eras Tour cups and popcorn buckets. They were completely sold out. And yeah, everybody was singing and dancing, and there were parts where people were up on their feet. It truly was a concert experience, but in a movie theater.
They should have sold her merch at all
They
the
should
movie
have,
theaters.
right?
That would have
People
like
would love
blown
that.
up too.
But it was honestly so unique, and I wish that more artists did stuff like this because it is so hard to get concert tickets nowadays. And if I hadn't been able to go to the Eras Tour like in person, I would have been devastated, first of all. Second of all, this would have been such a great alternative.
Think about like families who have like
Exactly.
many little kids who
Yes.
love Taylor
Yep.
Swift and couldn't get tickets. This is
Yes.
like such a nice family night for them.
Yes, and it was so fun, and everybody was like vibing and singing, and I kept thinking, God, I hope nobody's like next door trying to watch a really sad or serious movie and we're like screaming in the theater over.
Yeah.
Like
Were people like singing out loud?
yes,
singing songs?
yeah, like it
And
was
they didn't stop you guys?
no.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a legit concert experience. It was so cool. Like honestly, never experienced anything like that. And again, I do wish more artists would do that. I don't know that it would do so well with other artists because,
Right.
you know, it's kind of hit or miss with concert movies. But I mean, it was so good. And I never saw like back in the day, like I know there was like the Glee concert movie.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't go to
yeah.
that, but I did hear about that one. And there was Hannah Montana.
Yes, and like the Jonas Brothers had
Yeah.
one.
And One Direction, which I went to the One Direction one.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like a similar thing, but I feel like people are a lot more dressy for Taylor
Mhm.
Swift.
Yeah.
And she does have a way bigger following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to admit that because I love One Direction, but okay, I will.
I know a lot of people are like sick of hearing about her because the NFL won't shut up about her, and her and Travis Kelce are every other TikTok. I get it. I do. She's a little bit oversaturated in the media right now, but it's a good show. No matter how you spin it, it's a good show.
I mean, I'll say I probably won't be watching, but I did think it was cool because I heard about my coworkers at work. This like woman who was in her 40s, she's like, "This weekend I'm going with like my mom gang and then all of our daughters are going to go watch
Oh,
the Taylor Swift Eras movie." And they were all like dressing up and doing the bracelets and stuff like that. So I feel like anything that gets people so excited
yeah.
Yeah.
and, dressed up is cool. So I can respect
Yeah.
that.
And I'm actually curious, like Adrian, I kind of can predict what your response to this will be, but
Okay.
do you guys have an opinion on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Honestly, like I had never heard of him before all of this happened. I don't really care. It's just the only thing I keep seeing about everywhere. And so that's like I don't know. I don't dislike it and I'm not like this is awesome because I have no clue who this guy is. I just keep seeing all the photos of her at the football games like with his mom and stuff. So I don't know.
And I feel like I actually kind of like this coupling.
Mhm.
I don't know him at all, but he's the first like
Yeah.
non-actor and like very athletic, like buff man that she's dated, I feel
Yes.
like. And
Yes.
he's kind of matching her level of stardom. Although I don't know, like all the actors she's dated before, Jake Gyllenhaal, Harry
Yeah.
Mhm.
Styles, Loki, what's Loki's name?
Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
They're all equally as famous, but I mean, like, she's never dated like an athlete. So I
That's
actually
true.
think it's like cool. I am actually loving all the TikToks and Instagram reels, all of the ones that women are making about how they like didn't know Travis Kelce before Taylor
Right.
Swift. And I'm like loving that for
I
Yeah.
me. I'm
know.
loving that we're talking about pop culture in the middle of sports. Like,
I
Yeah.
love it.
I love that.
I love all the t-shirts that are like, I'm rooting for Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team. Like they don't even know what team it is.
Oh, that's
And then
funny.
you said about her never dating like an athletic guy. There's a lot of memes going around right now that are saying like, finally she's dating somebody that doesn't look like a sick Victorian child. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
like, and I'm like, if you think about it, it's like,
Sorry,
yeah,
girl.
like,
Yeah.
like she really has been dating sickly Victorian-looking children's. Like, I don't know.
He's so not her type if you look
No,
at the men that she's
mm-mm.
dated before.
No, he's
Mhm.
not her type, and I think that's what makes it so cool. Honestly, I think she's just having a good time. I don't like people are like, "This is it. She's gonna get married to him," and I'm like, "You guys, like." She's at her peak right now. I don't think she's
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about getting married. Like she literally is going to be on tour for the next 2 years.
And she just got out of a long-term
Yeah,
relationship.
she was with
Exactly.
him for 6
Yeah.
years. So I think she's just trying to
Having
have a
some
good
fun, yeah.
time. I mean, she has a little bit of a break right now, so she's, dating and
Mhm.
doing her thing. And like, I think it's awesome. I'm like so happy for her. I'm like, shoot your shot, girl. Like, have your freak era. Like, slut it up. I don't need like this is awesome. Like, we don't need no man.
No, this whole thing has actually made me like her a lot more. Like her bringing pop culture
Wow.
into sports. I know
Yeah.
I don't like her still, but I don't know. She's been likable in this whole news story.
Wow. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting perspective.
You're like, what's happening?
So yeah, I'm super happy for her, and I hope that they have a very long relationship, and I hope that I get like 70 more concert movies that I can just watch at my leisure.
Totally. Yes.
And I'll hope that for you too.
Yeah.
Adrian, I'll get you the DVD
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Ew, I moved.
She's like, lose my address.
Yeah.
That is all I have for pop culture news. So let's get right into the episode. The next scene we see is Lauren, Lowe, and Christina dancing in the car on their way to Muse. They get to Muse, and then they're in Muse when Lowe says everyone already has reserved dates, and Lauren says she reserved her date freshman year. Christina asks Lauren what is going on with her and Steven and if they are still hooking up at all. Lauren sort of smiles but doesn't give a straight answer. Then she says whenever Kristen and she are in the same place, he's usually trying not to hurt one person's feelings, and it's usually Lauren's. That makes me feel really sad for Lauren
I
Yeah.
know.
that she knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the whole thing is just sad because she's still holding out hope, and I don't think
Yeah.
she should. So Christina then says, "You and Kristen get along pretty well, though, right?" Lauren shrugs and says they're not mean to each other, but she can't stand fake people who are fake nice to each other. She also says even before this situation, she wasn't very fond of her. She says Kristen is Steven's date, so she can't really say anything, and Kristen has claimed him for the night, but Steven did promise her a picture.
I hated that.
Yeah.
See, this is why when I watched the Laguna Beach the first time, I was so team Kristen because I just kept thinking like, what the heck is Lauren doing? I'm like, they're going out. Why does she keep talking about Steven?
It is really bad.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's obviously still hooking up with him.
You think?
Yeah. Do you not think?
No, I feel like Steven is like very much with Kristen at this point.
No. The look on her face.
Yeah, I thought the reaction to that question was like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
If she's not hooking up with him, she wants everyone to think she is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And maybe that was where I was coming from. Like, that's what I was thinking, because
Yeah.
I did not like Lauren back in the day. But you're right. I did, when I watched it this time, that like little devilish smile that she gave
Yeah.
really did look genuine.
It did.
One of two things is happening, but I don't know. It does rub me the wrong way that she's like, well, Kristen's his date, so she kind of claimed him for the night. Like, that's her boyfriend. She's claimed him for the time being.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, not just for prom night.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of think that she genuinely didn't care that he was dating Kristen.
But again, maybe they weren't together.
True.
Yeah.
And you know, Lauren did say, so did you guys watch that end of season 1 interview that Steve and Lauren Kristen did together? They did a podcast all together, which was so awesome, because it was like 3 of them together. And one thing that she said that really made me like confused, she was like, oh, I didn't realize watching back that you guys had an actual relationship. She said that when she was in high school, she didn't really realize that they were so close, or that they were like, you know, serious about being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Interesting.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's sort of like, how could you be in high school, be friends with them, but not really think that they were dating?
I think because Kristen was flirty with everyone. I think she saw Kristen flirting with Sam. She saw Kristen doing this, Kristen doing that. And then Steven's telling her one story.
Yeah. Who knows what Steven was telling her? Yeah.
You know, I think that's totally plausible that she was like, she didn't take their relationship very seriously. And it's obvious because she's still hooking up with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and Lauren does not, I mean, for whatever else she is, I don't think Lauren seems like the type of girl that is like a homewrecker. Like, I truly don't think that that's her in her personality. And if she had thought that Steven and Kristen were very, very serious, I don't think she would have been hooking up with Steven. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know the girl personally, but just from
I agree with that.
Just from what I've seen on television of her, I don't picture that as her character.
I agree, and that's why I was like surprised to hear that. But yeah, maybe she really did see Kristen as being very like non-serious and very flirty with everyone else, which is why she just didn't put it together that they were serious. So it was actually really nice, because when Christina was talking to Lauren tried really hard not to say anything bad about Kristen, if you notice. Like, she gave her the opportunity to talk shit, but she didn't take it.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because in the next scene,
so bad.
What happens?
I'm ready to throw hands. I was so mad. So the next scene, Kristen and Alex are getting their nails done. And Alex asks Kristen why she doesn't like Lauren, and Kristen unloads. Kristen says that Lauren is just kind of a brat and that she's never liked her, but then when her and Steven started hooking up, it made her not like her even more. She's completely fake. She can't carry on a conversation, and the only time you ever hear her talking is flirting with guys.
Yeah.
Which is so harsh. And it's not at all the impression that we get of Lauren. And I hate that she tried to make her sound unintelligent. I don't think that was fair. Lauren is not stupid.
Not stupid, but wasn't she just saying that like Lauren's the kind of person that could only flirt with guys and not
she
really
can't
have
carry on a conversation
with girls?
Okay.
You know? Like, I didn't take that as her saying she was dumb. It's just like she only wanted to flirt and talk to guys. Is how I took that.
Okay, I am on the defense when it comes to Lauren. So, like, I am trying to be like, okay, objectively, maybe she didn't mean it in that way. But to me, it did sound like she was calling Lauren dumb. And I was like, this is not fair. Lauren is not dumb.
It's so funny how we watch it so differently.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was really harsh. And I also, we like never see Lauren flirting with guys other than Steven.
Just Steven.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, which, I mean, I get it. That's her boyfriend. So, I mean, sure, that would be the main guy that, you know, she's flirting with. I get it.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I was just like, geez, Kristen, like, tell us how you really feel.
I remember on the Back to the Beach podcast that Kristen talked a lot about how she was very insecure in high school, even though
Yeah.
we don't see that, obviously. And so I felt like that whole little speech of hers was just her projecting her insecurities out as well, of like,
Yeah.
does Steven like Lauren? I don't know. It was
Yeah.
still very
That's
mean.
literally how it always is the girls who are the most confident are the most insecure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, but if Steven really was hooking up with Lauren still at this time, duh, that's why they're so insecure.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's bring it all back. Get out of here, Steven.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alex asks her who Lauren's date is, and she says, David, and Alex makes a face, which I think they're so mean in this scene. Because clearly they think David is unpopular and uncute. And I think it's unfair because I thought David was a little cute. The little flash we see of him, it's not very long. But I was like,
Yeah.
he's not bad. Like,
There was nothing
No,
wrong
there
with
was,
him.
yeah,
No.
it was totally fine.
And I mean, poor David. Again, that's his legacy on this show.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like Catherine who got really pretty, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not fair. Justice for Catherine and David. And how funny would it be if we like contacted them and got them on this
Oh my
podcast? I would
gosh.
die.
Where are they now? Yeah.
I know, I would die. That would be so funny. Like the most random Laguna Beach stars ever. Kristen then says she's a little princess, Princess Lauren. Okay, Kristen. She's so mean in this scene, and I totally see why I hated her back in the day. I will say the girl looked gorgeous in this scene. I don't know what it was. Her makeup is like perfect, and the pink color looks really good on her. She looked amazing, but she's a bitch. But she looks amazing. I guess you can't have both. You can't be nice and pretty in the same scene. The next scene is Lauren, Lo, Christina, and Morgan getting pedicures. And Lo was talking about formal, which I'm assuming is winter formal that year, which was crazy. And Lauren and Kristen had some fun. Lauren says it wasn't fun. And then Lo says she had to hold Kristen back. And Lauren says she pushed me. And I'm so mad we didn't get the scene.
I know.
I was like, what? What happened?
How epic would it have been?
Yes.
Like start off the show watching that.
And then I realized we never really see Lauren and Kristen interact.
Yeah, that's true. We never see them talk to each other. Yeah.
Like ever. It's just they're talking about each other, but they really don't interact. But yeah, I really wish that we'd gotten to see that scene. I would have loved to see a little cat fight. Would have been epic. And I think Kristen would have won.
I think so too. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Lo says that she's a little afraid of Kristen, and Lauren says that she fights dirty, which I 100% believe.
Yeah.
Morgan says that she likes it and thinks it's funny, which I thought was bitchy. And Christina says she loves Kristen.
Dude, this is so funny.
Yeah.
Clearly, Lo and Lauren don't like Kristen, and Lauren just finished explaining how they got into a fight at Winter Formal, and Morgan and Christina are like, that was so funny.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean when I say that they're the low-key bitchiest girls on the show?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that was so mean.
I know.
That was so mean. Like,
but, okay, so these two clearly are being forced to, like, hang out because of MTV, but they still don't like each other. Like, this is a very forced friendship here.
Yeah.
I see that as them standing up for their friend Kristen. I agree it's bitchy, but I think, you know, good on them for standing up for their friend.
They didn't agree with what Lauren was saying. Instead, they just, they laughed it off and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
I like it. I think it's funny. Ugh. It rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. I know. You love Lauren.
I do. I know. No, but I love it, though. It gives two totally different perspectives, and I love it. I feel like we're always on the opposite side of things. It's awesome. Morgan asks Lauren if she's bummed she's not going with Steven, and Lauren says no, that she's excited to go with David. Morgan then says she does not understand why Kristen and Steven are going to a seventh dance together. She says they're so much alike that they click and they clash because they're two of a kind. Lauren says they're not that much alike, and Christina agrees with Morgan that they are. Again, I think this is bitchy. And I think it's bitchy of Christina to bring it up in the first place and then to be like, no, they're alike. Like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. They're like,
It's definitely a dig, right, to
yeah,
Lauren, but
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like, yeah, the last time we heard about these four, they were talking crap about how they didn't want to invite each other to their
Their
birthday
parties.
parties,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
makes a lot of sense, but now they're just like hanging out again. Like,
So weird.
no.
Well, because Lo said last time we hung out with Christina and Morgan, they just were not that nice. And like, I'm seeing
I
that.
see it now. Yeah.
Yeah,
She was right.
So, maybe it's out of order and that's why it's so
Maybe,
weird.
yeah.
has to be.
Lo says she's not down for hooking up on prom night because she thinks it's dumb. Lauren says she's not getting any on prom night. And then they talk about how hot Christina's date Beau is. And I'm wondering if this is sarcasm. Because every time they talk about Beau, it's like they're laughing.
Yeah, they're like giggling about it. Yeah.
Oh, Beau's a hottie. And then like later when they have the conversation about no pressure with Gary, and Christina's like, what, you think there's pressure with Beau?
Okay, I heard that as like, no, there is pressure with me and Beau. So I
Okay.
feel like Beau is
Yeah.
hot,
Yeah, did
Okay.
we
but we don't
Okay.
we
actually
didn't
see
see
him.
We
him,
never
right?
see Beau.
Yeah, because I was like,
Damn it.
what does he look like?
They
I need
pay
to know
no
now.
attention to the actual dates. Like,
That's true.
they
Yeah.
really give us nothing.
Yeah.
They just give us the cast, and it's so random. It's like, I would like
That's
to see
true.
who they're going to prom with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was weird. But I do think it's funny that they're like, we're not getting any on prom night. I also think that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even a thought into my mind that I was going to have sex on prom night because, well, I was a virgin until I was 19. And I liked it like that.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't feel pressure to do it earlier than when you're ready, obviously.
I
So,
was not concerned with sex in high school. Like, we've talked about it before, but like it
yeah.
just wasn't something that crossed my mind
Mm-hmm.
really. I
Yeah.
was doing other things.
Yeah, I was minding my own business, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it was not. It wasn't even a thought that entered into my mind. So I think it's funny that they're talking about it because obviously these teenagers were rather sexual, as we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I'm going home and eating Taco Bell. Like, it was just not even a thing. Like, I think I went to my best friend's house after prom and I literally think we ate Taco Bell and went to sleep. Like, that was what we did. So
That sounds awesome.
Do you guys have an after prom?
no.
Mm-mm.
So after prom at a hotel, we all went back to school, and they did some activities in there. I didn't actually go to that, but anyways, I've heard that in California, which is why again I have this elaborate dream of the American teenage experience. They go to Disneyland after
What?
when
Oh,
you're in
well, they
California.
do have
Yeah,
they have Disney grad nights. Like that's a thing, but I don't know if it's after prom. But yeah,
I think so.
grad night is
They
totally a
booked out
thing.
the entire Disneyland, and all these schools like go
Then
there.
they don't get there till like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. And then they
Yeah,
get to stay till like
even
2
later,
in
I
the
think.
morning or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got the shitty end of the stick growing up in California. What the fuck? I didn't
Why
know.
do you live
Yeah.
6 hours
I
away?
know. I did not get that. So after we leave the nail salon, it goes into Steven at Trey's house getting ready for prom. Steven calls Kristen and tells her he's going to leave a key for her at the front desk. And this is the big moment where we're like, oh my gosh, they have a hotel room for after prom. Kristen says that she doesn't want everyone knowing that they're staying in a hotel, and Steven asks her why, and Kristen explains it's because she has parents.
I love her for this.
That was so funny how she said that. Yeah.
It's because I have parents, Steven.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would not have wanted my parents to know that I was staying in a hotel after prom.
No.
Yeah, it's funny that she's such an adult, but then there's moments like this where she's like talking about homework
Mhm.
or that she has parents, and you're like, nope,
Yeah.
she's in high school.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Where did she tell her dad she was staying?
Probably at
Alex's.
Alex's house. Yeah.
Alex's or Jessica's? Yeah.
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 Or it's sort of just like an unspoken thing. He knows it's happening, but
Yeah.
like she just doesn't
Yeah.
want him to know.
Next, we see Lo and Elsie at Lo's house with their hairstylist, which I thought was really interesting. Why aren't you going to a salon like everybody else has to? Why is your hairstylist coming to your house? That was very strange. But they're all getting ready, and deciding what they're going to do with their hair. And then it flashes back to Trey's house, and Trey asks Steven if he's been talking to Elsie at all. Steven says he's been talking to her and that they hung out the last few nights and that they are on good terms. We shoot back to Lauren, and Jen Bunny is also there now getting her hair done. The stylist asks what the boys are planning on tonight. Lauren says they're planning on going to the dance for like a half an hour and then going straight to the after party and getting some, and that the girls are all planning on showing off their dresses. Which sounds about right for high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then back at Trey's, Trey says, it's funny, every single one of us are getting laid tonight.
Wow.
And it's funny because they show Dieter right then, and he looks up like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Like, he literally is like, huh? Like, I'm getting laid tonight? Like, and I thought that was really funny. And I also find it funny because that's like the most inappropriate thing Trey says all season.
Also, like, they're talking about getting some tonight, but as if they haven't been having sex the entire year.
That's so
know.
true. Yeah.
Like, it's super
Is it
special
different tonight?
So
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
It's not their first times, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Steven just says, whatever happens, happens. And Trey says, right there with you, dude. Which Steven, like I bet he's wondering who he's going to hook up with.
Oh my
And it just
God.
makes me so mad. Yeah. He rubs me the wrong way most of the time. Also, who came up with this stupid tradition to have sex on prom night?
I know.
I wonder when that started.
It's so stupid. Like, why? Because I'm wearing a pretty dress?
Because it's the end of high
It's like-
school and you're going to be an adult and all that stuff. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
one last
I mean,
thing to be
yeah.
before you're a grown up. I don't know.
But then they see each other at school the next day, so.
I know.
Yeah.
Like Lauren says, see you on Monday for finals.
Yeah.
You know? We then flash to Christina and Morgan, who are getting ready, and Morgan says she's glad to be going with Gary because there's no pressure. Christina jokes that there is pressure with her and Beau. Another flash to Kristen, and her dad says, heavy on the makeup, light on the dress.
I thought that was so
It's very
weird.
weird. Yeah.
They're kind of joking about it, and I'm like, my dad would not have been able to joke about this with me.
No.
He would have been like, you're not wearing that.
Okay, he was implying that she's not wearing a lot, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
But her dress was fine. Like, it was
Yeah.
nothing different.
Wasn't any different than the other girls.
Are you
Yeah.
guys kidding?
Are you
What?
kidding? What?
She looks like she's about to go clubbing. Like, it's pretty scandalous for high school.
What?
Really?
Okay, are we comparing it to the other girls?
Yeah.
Because her dress was like the same as like
It's about the
Morgan
same length and everything.
Lo.
Yeah.
You know why? I think it's because...
You don't like Kristen.
No. Well, I don't like the dress anyway. It's an ugly green color. But I think it's because she's very endowed up top,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it makes it look more scandalous on her.
I can see
Mhm.
that. But when I was watching it, I was like, nothing's wrong. Like, that was just a
I
normal
didn't think
dress.
that either. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of short, but I guess in comparison, like,
Compare that to Lauren's dress too. Like,
yeah, Lauren's was
had
short
a
too.
bigger
Yeah.
dress.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly that, like, she just looks very voluptuous in it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick dress rundown here just so that we know what everybody's wearing. I thought that would be good because as I was
Yeah.
watching the episode, I was like thinking about all these dresses and I was like, I need to like put them all in order. So Lo is wearing a kind of tie-dye print light blue dress. I don't know. It's not really tie-dye, but I don't know how else to describe that pattern. It's kind of,
kind of
Floral.
yeah,
flowery.
like it's kind
Yeah.
of floral, kind of tie-dye, kind of, I don't know. It's a
Mhm.
really interesting print. It's light blue. And she's got a giant bandage on the back of her leg.
I
I
noticed
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is
Yeah.
happening? So that's just something to note.
Yeah.
And then Lauren is wearing a basic red dress. It's really pretty though. It's very basic, and she's got like these really pretty dangly red earrings to match.
Did you like her hair with it?
No.
With that flower?
No.
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
either.
Me neither.
And I thought for having a hairstylist come to your house,
Yeah.
I know.
Why? Yeah.
the hair was not it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, Lo also had like straight hair.
Yeah. I thought their hair was very boring for prom. Lauren looked like she was just going to like the mall, like with her hair.
Yeah.
That was weird, but I mean, she looks really pretty. I wasn't into the hair. Kristen's wearing a flippy short green dress, which it's not my favorite color. I do think it's a little short, but you guys think it's not short. So I'm just going to say that maybe my judgment is clouded. Jen Bunny, of course, is wearing a yellow dress with a tiara.
Oh my
Ugh.
gosh. I know. I
God.
hate the tiara thing. So
I was
ridiculous.
like, what is she wearing?
Of course, Jen Bunny would be wearing a
Of
tiara.
course, yeah.
Morgan is wearing the same print as Lo, but in red.
Whore.
I know. And Christina is wearing a short white dress with a little black sash, which I really thought Christina's dress was so cute on her.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, I thought it was very her.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, it's very her.
Yeah.
But I was like, what is that dress? That looks like a I don't know, a flower girl or like
It is
some
young.
Yeah.
It's young.
Yeah.
It's young. But I do think for her, it was very cute. Like, I think it fit her personality
It did fit
well.
her, yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
she looked pretty. Again, yeah, it's very young. It's
Mhm.
probably not the dress that I would have chose,
Mm-mm.
but I think it's cute for her. And I'm sure her parents were like, you look like a little angel, you know.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Very angelic.
And then Jessica, we don't see her until they get to prom, but she's wearing like a deep V short black halter dress. That is the most boring dress I've ever seen in my life. And I'm sad that that's the dress she wore to Dieter's senior prom. Like, I think Dieter deserved a better dress for his senior prom. Yeah, I was not impressed. I was like, okay, Jessica. But yeah, again, these dresses are very cocktail. Morgan and Lowe's reminds me of like a spring day, like sundress.
Yes,
Yes.
totally.
And okay, in California, there were some people who wore gowns. Those people were weird. In like my friend group, we were like, no, like we want to kind of be a little slutty. Like that was just kind of what it was. And we wore like short cocktail dresses, but they were still prom dresses. Like these dresses seem like just random dresses. They're not prom.
These were very casual.
Yeah.
Yes, they're casual. Very 8th grade graduation.
Yes, yeah.
And not prom for me. So that was interesting. Jasmine watched part of the episode with me and I said, look at their prom dresses, because I knew she would be like, oh my God, what the heck? Because they do it up here and they do it crazy and they all like wear freaking second wedding dresses. Like it's crazy. And she was like, wow. She was like, that is not prom, like at all. And I was like, I know, it is really weird. And I always thought that watching this episode that they weren't really prom dresses.
No, in my high school, everyone wore long dresses. Even got to a point where like there would be a Facebook group started for every year's prom, and girls would post their dresses in that group just to avoid wearing the same dress as someone else in the school. So it was a big deal, and people went like all out with their prom dresses.
That's how my high school was too. Yeah, it was very fancy. It's really funny though, my dress I wore to senior prom, it was a really pretty dress, but there was a friend of mine who like I literally sat next to in class and we were like talking about prom of like, oh, we're so excited, blah, blah, blah. And then we got there and when we ran into each other, we were wearing the same dress. And we were like, how did we never talk about this like all year? It was so funny. But we got a picture together and stuff because I was like, I wasn't mad. I did not call her a whore because we both looked very nice, but it was so
Same
weird.
color and everything?
It's exact same dress. It was black and it had like pink flowers kind of like flowing down it. It wasn't poofy. It was like an A-line sort of thing. So
which is kind of bound to happen.
Oh,
like you're living in the same town and you're shopping at the same
stores.
place. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. I wasn't mad. Oh, I wanted to say before we go on to the next part, I loved Lo's dad getting out the video camera of Lo and Lauren and being like, what are you guys doing? Who are you dating?
Yeah.
That was just so cute. And that's my dad. My dad always has the video camera out and then it's like, Dad, stop, you know. But
yeah.
But now I'm glad that he did
it's
that.
it's so cute because then you have that forever and you don't really think about it. Yeah.
I thought that was so
My
sweet.
dad used to do that, and I have so many home videos from like when I was little. Like he used to do it when I was really little, and I love it. Like he would videotape like family gatherings and stuff, and so like I have such good video of like my grandmas when they were still alive.
Same,
and, like, you know, like
it's
just
so
like
special. Yeah,
stuff that you don't realize you're gonna want.
Exactly.
Can you still watch it now though? Because I feel like they're all on like
they're on
those,
VHSs.
Like,
Yeah. I don't have a VCR player right now,
but you have the tape.
But I have the tape.
We have a VCR.
So I'm sure, yeah. I mean, we actually had one. We had that really old, it had VCR on one side and DVD on the other side. But it broke. Like,
no.
So, yeah, we don't have it anymore. But we did have it for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
You can like still buy them on eBay and stuff. They're not too expensive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you'll always be able to find one somewhere.
For
so
sure.
hopefully, anyway. So Lo, Lauren, and Jen pick up Morgan, Christina, and Kristen in the limo. Lo and Morgan realize that they are wearing the same dress and high five, but later in the limo, Lo says, Morgan has my same dress, like the same pattern. She's a whore. Which is hilarious. And I just love how because like you can see her mind trying to come up with a word for what Morgan is, and she just lands on whore.
Yeah.
And then I love how she acts like she doesn't care at all, and that it's like cute that they're matching, and then she's like so pissed about it in the limo. And like really, it doesn't even look like the same dress because the colors are so
totally
I don't know. For me,
colors,
I was like, I don't know, like it just they're very different, and like their body types make it look different too.
Yeah.
And again, if they were such good friends, they would have figured this out way sooner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then we get to Trey's pre-prom party for pictures. Lo, Lauren, and everyone are all meeting up and saying hello and getting pictures. Lauren immediately says she wants a picture with Steven and goes off to find him. Lauren and Steven take their picture while Kristen glares on. And I think it's funny because it's like a random shot of Kristen looking over, but I don't think she cared.
I don't think so either.
I think it was just a random scene of her looking somewhere. Like they just threw that in there. So the gang takes several group shots together while the parents all gather and get pictures. And then off to prom they go. And they're in a stretch limo. And Lauren's sticking her head out the sky roof. And it's super cute. And they're having a great time. And I'm jealous. And I wish that I could go to prom again because it was super fun. Everyone arrives and checks in at prom. And literally we just get dark, grainy camera footage of everyone dancing at prom, which I get. It was probably hard to get like real footage at prom. It is really dark in there usually. And everyone looks so sweaty.
Mm-hmm. It was like a nightclub in there.
Yeah. I truly miss school dances. It looks like so much fun.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Like you'll never get the school dance experience again.
I know.
I so badly miss getting ready with all my friends and going and like dancing all night, and then like you're so tired after, and then you probably have like a sleepover, and like I so miss that. It's like such a great time in your life, and you don't have much to worry about. It's just a good time. So I'm super jealous of them because they look like they're having a fantastic time. And then after prom, we see Steven in the limo with Mike. And I find it funny that Laguna always does this where they show this after prom in the limo where everybody is recovering. And Mike appears noticeably intoxicated or high or something. And Steven like asks Mike like, are you tired? And Mike's like, yeah, I'm really tired. And then he promptly throws up out of the limo.
I know.
And Steven is also intoxicated or high.
I can't believe they're showing this on TV.
Steven's laughing, and it's because he knows the cameras are watching, and Mike just threw up out of the limo. And he's like, oh my God, this is so bad. Like, he knows it.
I mean, can you believe MTV got away with showing this on TV?
No, and I can't believe that as a kid watching it, I like didn't know.
I believe that he was just tired.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I had no idea.
Me neither.
And I'm like, they are so drunk.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Even Kristen, like talking, like they're so
wasted.
Drunk.
Yeah.
So my school was really strict about that at dances. If you showed up drunk to a dance, or they found out that you were drinking at a dance, or you were drunk, you were banned from every single dance for the rest of the year, including prom.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. Yeah.
So like it just didn't happen, and if it did, you were caught.
Yeah.
And like it was not worth getting banned from prom to me. No. So like I would never do something like that. So it's shocking to me that these kids got away with it.
And that they got so
drunk.
Yeah. They were definitely this drunk at prom.
Yeah. Yes. So everyone else piles into the limo and they start the trek home. Kristen asks Steven who she's going to take to winter formal next year. Steven says, me. She rolls her eyes and says, yeah, while you're up in San Francisco, would you really? You'd go to a high school dance? And Steven is like, no, like really quick. And then he changes his mind and says if she really wanted him to go and cared like she claims she does, he would go with her. And then Kristen kind of laughs and says, like I claim I do, which I thought was super funny because Kristen like doesn't even believe herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole conversation just had me laughing. So she says, if we're still together when you come back and stuff, and Steven looks like she literally just poured boiling hot water on him. He's like so horrified. by that statement. And he says, if we're still together, what the fuck is going to happen? Like, and I think part of it is because he's drunk, but it's like, he's so concerned. Like, are you going to die? Am I going to die? What's going to happen? Like, very concerned. And Kristen says, we are going to be together when you come back. There, I said it. And Lauren, trying to distract everyone, is like, Morgan, last prom ever. Because she's like so over the conversation that's happening directly to her, right? Like, and I would be too.
Yeah.
They're having this like
yeah.
deep like relationship conversation, wasted as fuck in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, this is my last prom. Like, shut the hell up.
Lauren also doesn't look that drunk.
No,
so
not at
she
all.
would be like extra annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting that like how the camera's positioned, they never catch all three of them in one shot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it's Lauren's reactions and then Steven and Kristen, to the point where I was like, are they even in the same limo? Like,
Mhm.
or are they just like cutting to two different limos? But you do see them together when he comes to say goodbye at the very
Yeah.
Oh,
end.
yeah.
But you just like never see them together.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
it was weird. I think it was just a small limo, and they probably had a hard
Mhm.
time, like,
Squeezing in there.
Angling it
Yeah.
to both of them.
So Lauren is distracting everyone and turns to Morgan and says, last prom ever. And meanwhile, Kristen and Steven are still having a relationship talk. And Kristen says, whatever happens while you're gone and whatever happens while I'm here, we just don't talk about it, which sounds super healthy. Steven says, that's fucked up and stupid. I agree.
Mhm.
And Kristen says, I don't want to know what you're doing up in San Francisco, like hanging out with girls. I don't want to know about that. Steven says, it won't be near as bad as what you're doing out here. And like, this whole
Jeez,
conversation
dude.
is like, you guys are super healthy.
Yeah.
Like, you guys should really like host like your own relationship like therapy. Like, it's just golden. Yeah, they're so immature.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that you even have to have a conversation like this is like nuts to me. Like, what?
Mhm.
It's just so silly. And Lauren tries to distract Steven this time with last prom ever. She's really like harping on this, but he's too busy making out with Kristen. Yeah, I find it funny that Kristen and Steven are making out, and like 2 seconds ago they were basically fighting. And now they're like making out. And
They're full on making out.
yeah, I'm like, okay, this is very mature.
It's so funny. I love that shot that they showed of Lauren making like the pouty face when they started kissing. There was just her face, and she was like looking real sad there, pooching her lip out and stuff.
I know.
Kristen and Steven get dropped off at their hotel with, okay, I was confused here, but I think it's Dieter and Trey. But I'm wondering where Jessica is.
And both Jessicas.
Yeah.
Trey's date Jessica also.
Like, are Dieter and Trey sleeping together tonight? Like,
Well,
what's happening?
what we see them doing later, I'm like, what is happening here? They're taking their surfboards out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Is the real love story between Trey and Dieter.
Yeah, when he was like, we're definitely getting some tonight.
Have we missed out on the true love story this whole time?
It is their first time getting some.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be... I mean, I'm like, did they just drop Jessica off? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, so they get dropped off, but not before Steven goes in for a big hug with Lauren. And this bothered me because it's not like he's hugging everybody. He's just hugging Lauren.
Oh, I didn't even think
And
about
he's
that.
drunk, and she's not into the hug because she knows that he's drunk and he's going to go have sex with Kristen, and like, not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, ew.
I didn't even think about
He was
that.
also like uncomfortably close to her face the whole time, and it like
Yeah.
lasted for a really long time, and I just felt
Yes.
icky watching it. I was like, oh, stop. Like,
Yeah, Steven is so cringe 99% of the time.
It's so crazy that we keep saying that because like when I watched it, I mean for years before this rewatch podcast of theirs, I love Steven.
Yeah, me too.
And now I'm like, can't stand him
the
on
worst,
the show.
yeah.
What happened?
I think you grew up, Adrian.
Ah,
You're a real
no.
you're a
I
real
went on
woman now. It's like, this is bigger than starting your period. You're a real woman now.
Yeah.
You've grown up. You've realized Stephen Coletti is a piece of trash.
Only after
Yeah.
I read the Reddit snark, though.
Yeah. Stephen has his moments. So Lauren says, "Good last prom. See you on Monday for finals." And Dieter yells at her and says, "Who said that?" Which I think is hilarious because I also wouldn't want to think about finals. So as the girls drive home, "Goodbye to You" by Michelle Branch plays in the limo, and they all start talking about how sad they are that they are graduating and this was the last prom ever. Then they all start singing along to this song, which is such a sweet moment. It's one of my favorite moments of the show. I just think it's so cute and so like accurate of like
Yeah.
hanging out with your girls.
Yep.
And it's juxtaposed with Steven and Kristen checking into what is quite possibly the shittiest hotel on the planet. I'm like, there has to be bed bugs.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
it looks so trash. Like, where are they staying? It looks like a Motel 6.
It does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all they could
Yeah.
afford.
Probably.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
MTV couldn't cut you a check for that one. So bad. It's probably the only hotel that would let them check in.
Probably. Yeah. I wrote down
Yeah.
like I would not want to like pull the covers off of that bed. Like there's no way.
No, it looks awful.
The carpet, like that dark green color and stuff. It's just
Yeah. Back in the limo, Lo admits that she made out with Talon.
I wish we saw that.
I know. And I love how she admits it too, because Lauren's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, I was like, Talon was making out with me for a little bit. Like, it's super funny. And yeah, I think Lo and Talon would have been a really cute couple.
Yeah, yeah, they look cute together.
Yeah, that would have been super cute. But we end the episode with Steven and Kristen presumably having sex in their hotel room, and all the girls singing "Goodbye to You," and Dieter and Trey surfing.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're trying to tell us about Dieter and Trey.
yeah, what is going
It
on?
was just so random. I'm like, you finished prom, you went back to your hotel, and you're running off into the ocean. Like, what is happening?
And Trey was like so convinced that they were all going to get laid.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and instead
I actually thought they like left their girls in the hotel room while they like ran out to the ocean together. So I'm like, what is happening? So another interesting tidbit from Back to the Beach, Kristen was saying that she didn't want to film like closing the hotel room door for MTV because she didn't want her parents to see that.
Mhm.
And so what she agreed to film for them is her saying goodbye to Steven. And so that shot of them like kissing was like a goodbye kiss. And she's like, unknowingly, they use that shot as like a implication of they're about to have sex. So I thought that was very sneaky.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They really manipulated those teenagers, didn't they?
And it's interesting because Kristen actually put her foot down and she thought she was smart by
Mhm.
not, wanting to film that, but they freaking got her anyway.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing. So I always thought it was so sweet how Lo and Lauren like had each other in high school. Like how close they
Yeah.
were in the limo and like, singing Michelle Branch's Goodbye to You. It really
Mhm.
looked like they were just like so sad to leave each other and go off to
Yeah.
college.
Yep.
And like, I don't know. I mean, I had, friends, best friends, but like I don't know. Lauren and Lo just looked like they had such a close relationship. Like I was really envious of that.
Mm.
I had really close friends in high school. Like my best friend that I'm still best friends with. I would say that we had that kind of relationship because we grew up together.
Mhm.
But I mean, we had our moments like where we weren't talking because every friendship does.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we always come back stronger. And I feel like that was Lo and Lauren for a long time too.
Mhm.
Until they did.
Until they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But I feel like they were for a while, like kind of that unbreakable.
Totally.
Mhm.
I definitely had friends like that I felt like were my Lo till my Lauren in high school.
That's so cute.
The two girls that I hung out with like every single weekend, those were like my sisters. Like I would call them my sisters. I like to this day would throw down for them even though we're not as close as we were. Like I am with my best friend, but like some people you just don't talk to every day. And but like
Yeah.
those people, like I would still like catch a grenade,
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I
Yep.
just was never like I was close with my friends, but I feel like in high school I was much more I was just like hanging out more with my family. Like I was
Mhm.
really close with my sister in that way, but I wasn't going to like a friend's house every day after school, like every weekend kind of thing. Like I don't know, it was
Yeah.
just different.
I was really close to people. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I always had like a big group of friends.
I had my one best friend who it was like every weekend, either she was at my house or I was at hers, and she would
Yeah.
come on our family vacations with us. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like my one person when I go back to Michigan, aside from my family that I see. But she'll come over to my family's house because everybody knows her. So,
Yeah. That's like
Hmm.
me and my
mhm,
best friend. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
awesome.
the
Yeah.
same. Like, yeah, it's just that person for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just family. And we can go like a month or so without talking and then call each
It's
other.
like
And it's
normal.
like, who cares? It's like, it's never like,
Yeah.
why haven't you called me in 6 months or whatever?
Right.
So,
You don't like
yeah.
expect
Mm-mm.
anything from each other because you know you'll always be sisters and you'll always be
Exactly.
family.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exactly
Yep.
I completely get that.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, like she knows me better than anyone on this
Mm-hmm.
planet. She's known me since I was in kindergarten. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yep.
like it's just and it's such a beautiful thing to have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate and like thank God for her like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously like I gush about her all the time, but I truly like I appreciate her in my life so much because you can't recreate that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you can't recreate your entire childhood. You can't like you can make new
Yeah.
friends, but it's not the same.
Exactly. Yep.
Totally. And I see that.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love having somebody that has known me my whole life, basically, because no one's ever gonna see your whole life at like a scope like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
Yep.
she, like if I
Mhm.
need advice about something, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
her because she knows all of me.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Mm.
she knows every version of me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know every
Mhm.
version
Yeah.
of her.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like it's just nice to have that perspective.
In that respect, like I feel like that's my sister. So
Yes.
maybe I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we're just closer.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. When you have a sister, sometimes the need to have a friend like that isn't there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is it because yeah, on like Friday nights, like weekends, like we would watch
You hang
movies
out
and
with each
hang out and
other.
do stuff
Yeah.
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I never felt like I was like missing out by like having to go outside to like hang out and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Laguna. Did you guys have any moments in this episode that made you jealous, Steven rage?
Mm.
Anything that made you so angry?
Lauren constantly talking about Steven because even at the very end of the episode, she talks about wanting a picture with Steven to
Oh
bring to San
yeah.
Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, girl, you are still talking about him.
That always makes me
So
mad every
true.
episode.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it was Kristen saying that Lauren can't hold a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That made me annoyed.
Yeah, that would probably be it for me too. Or when all the girls were hanging out and Morgan and Christina were being very weird. That was
So bitchy.
strange. Yeah.
Favorite outfit?
Okay, I want to say Lauren's mall outfit. Like she had a really cute top on with the jeans, but I feel like I'm kind of copping out here because we should do a favorite prom dress, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe Morgan's dress because I like her color a little bit more than Lowe's. Like Lowe's blue dress was like a little bit washed out, I felt like, against
Mm-hmm.
her and maybe
Blonde.
like her
Yeah.
Yeah.
blonde too. The red was nice on Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
but none of them look like prom dresses to me.
I
No.
liked Lauren's whole prom look. Except for
Of course.
the hair.
Except her
Like
hair. Yeah.
honestly, the dress, the shoes, and the earrings were really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish she had done something else with her hair. I don't know what though.
Even like a soft wave would have been
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Or like a half up, half down.
The
Like I
Mm-hmm.
love half up,
flower
half
didn't
down.
fit the vibe. It was
No.
just
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, I did really like the actual color of her dress and her nails
Mm-hmm.
matched her dress. Just thought it was really pretty. And I really did like Christina's dress for her. I like again, I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
wear it, but I liked it on her.
It fit her. Yeah.
I think part of it was if her hair was like half up, half down, and it made her look like a little girl.
The
Yeah.
way she said it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if she had done her hair differently, like if she had done like an
Mhm.
updo or something, I think it would have looked classier. But yeah, I do like that dress on her.
Yeah, I liked Lauren's prom dress the best too, I think, out of all of them. I probably wouldn't have picked any of those dresses for myself to wear. So if I had to pick one, it would be Lauren's, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they were such weird choices. Even
Yeah.
like Jen Bunny's like weird yellow
my
like
gosh.
shift
The
dress.
yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Mm-hmm.
Hers was a little more like formal, right?
Yeah, but then
A
like
little
the
bit,
short
yeah.
dress with the tiara too. Like I was
Yeah, the
Yeah.
like,
tiara.
I mean, at least she was quiet this episode. And then favorite moment or scene?
Has to be low going, dude, Morgan has the same dress. She's a whore.
She's a whore.
I think mine would be at the end when they're singing in the limo and Lauren and Lo, they take the picture together with the digital camera. Just because I'm like, I feel like I had that exact
So
same
sweet.
camera and just them taking the picture and everything. Like,
Been a
again,
while
it's,
since I've seen one of those.
I know. Yeah. And it's just like the whole, like we were talking about, just the best friend thing and stuff. Like, it's special.
Mine is definitely Mike throwing up in the limo and Steven laughing because he knows the cameras are watching.
Poor
He's just
Mike.
like, oh my god, this is gonna go so well. Like, and then just, are you tired? Yeah, I'm really tired. Trying to cover it up so bad and like knowing that he can't.
Thank God he made it out of the limo too.
Oh my
Right?
Imagine if
gosh.
that would have
Yeah.
been
That would have been
inside.
horrible.
Ugh.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Millennial TV. If you like what you hear, we do this every week, so please subscribe or follow anywhere you podcast. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out to us at millennialtv@gmail.com. That is millennialteav@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram. We are Candace, Liz, and Adrian, your Millennial TV hosts, and we will see you next week.